Hello everyone, and welcome to the Missouri School Boards Association's Board Report for the month of March. We thank you for the opportunity to share some news and information during a few minutes of your board meeting. We begin with a look at some new technology that uses the internet to connect students with qualified licensed professionals such as speech-language pathologists and mental health experts. Many school districts in Missouri have difficulty finding and employing qualified persons in those and other areas. MSBA Associate Executive Director Dr. Kim Ratcliffe says the MSBA Medicaid Consortium now can help school districts use teletherapy to provide the support many students need to be successful in school.
Through our Medicaid Consortium, we were aware of how often districts are not able to employ qualified people. But at the real heart of it, MSBA's mission is to help schools succeed, school boards succeed, and school boards succeed when their children achieve. Many times, because districts cannot hire qualified persons, then they're not providing the supports to allow students to achieve to their full potential. And this fills that gap for them.
Besides teletherapy, the technology also can be used to connect school district staff located in different buildings with each other for consultations. It also can be used to connect students who must miss school for extended periods with a classroom, allowing those students to continue to participate in lessons. You can contact Dr. Ratcliffe at MSBA for more information on how your school district can take advantage of this technology to support students. The implementation of the Every Student Succeeds Act was one of the major topics discussed at the recent MSBA Legislative Forum in Jefferson City. More than 250 school board members and administrators attended the event this year. The Director of Federal Legislation for the National School Boards Association, Deborah Rigsby, joined the meeting via Skype after her flights out of Washington were canceled due to a snowstorm. She told the group the new law that replaces No Child Left Behind affirms local governance and has the potential to allow much greater flexibility and innovation at the local level. But she added much depends on the development of the regulations associated with the law, and she encouraged school board members to provide input on those regulations both at the federal and state levels.
The ways in which we can influence this regulatory process. You may say, well, the law is passed now. This is where we can, and no, the work just begins, as your president stated, about how do we ensure that we are going to maintain the spirit and intent of the law about local governance, about flexibility, and about giving the latitude to the state and school districts to maintain that, to establish your own benchmarks and not have such rigorous control through the regulatory process that it would inhibit any type of innovation and successful reform at the local level.
Rigsby added the goal of the U.S. Department of Education is to have the regulations associated with the Every Student Succeeds Act in place by December 31st of this year. By the way, the Every Student Succeeds Act will be the primary topic of discussion at MSBA's spring regional meetings set for April and May. See the MSBA website for the date and location of the spring regional meeting near you. Signature gathering is now underway for an initiative petition proposal to raise Missouri's lowest in the nation cigarette tax to fund the expansion of early childhood education and health programs in our state. It's called the Raise Your Hand for Kids campaign. Executive Director Linda Rollo told those attending the Legislative Forum in Jefferson City the expansion of early childhood education will pay big dividends in the future.
One of the hardest things about trying to get people behind an initiative that you may not see the real benefits for 20 years is that so many times in our state we're looking for a quick fix. There was so many issues and so many challenges that you just can't wait around. And I look at this like we don't have a choice but to wait around, and we need to look at what's this going to look like in 20 years. But I think there's so many benefits that we can see in the short term. If you want to look at it from a jobs program, you're going to have a lot more jobs you're going to be creating with this. In 5 years after kids have the opportunity for early childhood education, when they start school, you're going to see test scores go up. So there'll be short-term gains. But I think it's time to have the courage in our state to really look look long and think about, what do we want to leave behind for our future generations, for our kids and our grandkids. And I think this would be a really great gift that we could all give our kids.
The proposal would raise Missouri's cigarette tax by 60 cents a pack. That would still be well below the tobacco tax in most of our neighboring states. Missouri currently ranks 38th in the nation when it comes to funding preschool education and has only 3% of our 4-year-olds enrolled in a public preschool program. If the signature gathering effort is successful, the initiative would appear on the November general election ballot. That's it for this month's edition of the MSBA Board Report. Thanks for allowing us to have some time at your board meeting, and so long from Columbia.